Chosen one, you did not come here by accident. The unseen hand led you to this exact moment to hear a gentle yet thunderous warning. A divine shift is approaching, and it will shake everything you thought was fixed. Even if your natural eyes can't see it yet, your spirit already knows the hum, the pull, the tiny spark licking at the edge of your heart, whispering that something bigger is rising inside your life. Pause with me. Breathe in, let the light of heaven slip between your ribs and widen your chest. If these words are in front of you, it isn't random. This is a crux signal from the Creator. That you're standing on the border between old and new, between the long wait and the promise about to manifest. And He told me to tell you this: get ready, because I'm about to do a thing that will make the world go silent. Right now, type 777, the number of divine alignment, as your signature on the new covenant between you and God. This isn't a message to admire, it's a summons, a call from eternity itself. Wake up, chosen one. God sees you, the one who walked through fire and came out with a heartbeat, the one who stood in the storm and still said amen. You stood where others fell, kept faith while mockery circled your name, kept calling on Him even when the sky was quiet. Now heaven is moving. Something massive is splitting open inside your life. Not a small tweak, not a polite upgrade. A total metamorphosis, where your wounds become the foundation of wonders. Picture this: behind you stands a dam holding back the blessings, opportunities, and breakthroughs you've been praying for. Every trial, every tear, every "I can't do this anymore" was pressure building against that wall. And now God's whisper is becoming a roar. Stand ready. I'm breaking the barrier. When it bursts, what you hoped for and what you never dared to ask will pour like a flood. You won't just survive. This shift, you'll shine through it in a way that makes the world freeze and watch. Your life will be living proof of His power. If your chest is vibrating with recognition, type 7. Again as a declaration. I'm ready when the gates of heaven open. Hear Him clearly. The waiting season is over. All those months and years, sowing in the dark, praying without seeing, trusting without proof, none of it was wasted. Now the harvest is moving toward you. Think of a farmer who keeps turning the soil beneath a brutal sun, confident the seeds are alive, though nothing has sprouted yet. That's you, chosen one. Every small act of faith, every time you chose hope over despair, those were seeds. Now the ground is about to split with abundance sown. And what's coming isn't only money or applause, though. Provision and favor are in the package. It's a holy fullness. Your inner life, your purpose, your relationships, your daily breath. You're stepping into a place where lack becomes a faint memory, where fear dissolves, where your presence alone changes the room. The world often misreads people like you. They see your scars and miss your victories. They watch your calm and call it weakness. But God sees the Saksamon, warrior. He forged in the furnace the flame no storm could put out. And He's saying, get ready, because I'm about to show the world who you truly are. Your life is about to be evidence. Not just theology, not theory, evidence of His promises. Think of David facing Goliath with a sling and a stone. The world laughed. The giants scoffed. But heaven had already stamped the outcome. That's you now, the giants. Doubt, debt, fear, rejection are falling not by your muscle, but by the hand of God resting on your shoulder. Every hard season was marked the gym of your soul. God sharpening you in the shadows so you could blaze in the light. If your spirit is heating up as you read, type 7. So heaven knows you've received the briefing. Maybe you're asking, why me? Why now? God's answer is simple. Because you're mine. You were never designed to blend in. You were born to blaze. Every time you fell and stood back up, you were training for this hour. Every time you picked faith over fear, your feet aligned more tightly with His blueprint. Imagine a key turning in a lock that's your life right now. Doors that were sealed are swinging open. The right people are being drawn into your path. Opportunities are walking towards you, sent, not chased. God is saying, you need to hear this. Before Chakti, it happens because it's already underway. You don't see the whole picture yet, but every step you've taken was guided. Your life is a book, and a fresh page is turning. The old pages saturated with tears, loneliness, grinding resistance are staying where they belong behind you. The new chapter is inked with light, purpose, and power. His pen is moving, and He's drafting a story that will hush the mouths that once laughed. You're not a side character. You're in the lead He chose to carry His glory in. Shut the door on doubt. The enemy will whisper, too good to be true. But God's promises are louder than lies. He is not the maybe God, He is the God of Danits now, Makuni. What He spoke over your life is already finished in the Spirit. Your part is to walk it out in faith and receive what's been written in your name. Type. 7. One more time if you're ready to cross the threshold. And if you sense the tug to stand with a family of other chosen ones, plant yourself and stay connected. This is a Baksita holy moment. And you're not moving through it alone. Understand God's message isn't only about what's coming. It's about who you're becoming. You are not the same person you were last year, last month, even last night. Every trial refined you. Every prayer strengthened your core. You're stepping into the most radiant version of yourself, the one God sketched before time began. People will look at you and say, there's something different, something unshakable. They'll be right. It's the light darkness can't extinguish. Like a caterpillar convinced it's dying while it's actually transforming, you mistook the cocoon for a coffin. It wasn't death, it was rebirth. That's you, chosen one. The shell is torn, the wings are opening, and the sky has been calling your name for a long time. God has plans that will steal your breath in the best way. And they're already in motion. This transformation isn't just for you. It's for the ones around you, family, friends, even strangers, who will feel the shockwave of your breakthrough. Because you're not only carrying a blessing, you're carrying a legacy. Stay close. What God reveals next will explain why every hardship had a purpose and why. Every tear you ever cried was the first drop of a coming downpour of blessing. Chosen one, you've been through years where heaven felt silent seasons that made you wonder if your prayers vanished into thin air. But God was never still. Every quiet season was a construction site hidden behind the veil. Every unanswered prayer was a brick being set, every delay a foundation being poured. You thought He was withholding. In truth, He was no anchoring. What's about to rise? You are standing at the edge of a divine unveiling. The things you begged God to explain are about to make sense, not through words, but through manifestation. Every closed door, every betrayal, every breakdown, they were coordinates, aligning you to this place. You thought you lost time, but you didn't. You were being refined in divine time. And now heaven's clock is striking now. Picture yourself standing before a mountain you once called impossible. You've prayed about it, cried about it, maybe even made peace with it, never moving. And then one morning you wake up and it's not gone, it's moved aside. That's the season you're stepping into. Not gradual, not subtle. Sudden, swift, divine. God's saying you need to hear this before it happens. So when it happens, you'll recognize my hand. The shift won't always look like victory at first. Sometimes heaven's open doors appear as chaos plans, collapsing people, leaving jobs ending. But don't mistake divine reordering for loss. God is rearranging your stage for the revelation of His glory. What was falling apart is actually falling into place. The pain you endured wasn't pointless. It was preparation. Think of Joseph, falsely accused, forgotten in prison, but in one dawn, the king called his name. Overnight, the prisoner became the prime minister. Chosen one, your one dawn is approaching. You won't need to chase opportunity. Opportunity will remember your name. The same people who doubted you will watch you rise and won't even understand how. Every no was a guardrail. Every betrayal was a redirect. Every delay was a disguise for protection. And now heaven's gates are groaning open under the weight of all that's been stored for you. God's saying, you thought I was silent, but I was storing. The blessings were maturing while you were healing. You didn't waste years, you built roots. Every tear watered them. Every sleepless night pushed them deeper. And now, as the sunlight of His favor hits your life, you'll rise quickly because you're anchored deeply. What once took you years will take you moments. What used to drain you will now overflow from you. But listen carefully. God's promotion always comes with purpose. The increase is not random. The favor isn't just for comfort. It's for calling. You are being positioned to impact lives that can't hear His voice directly. So He's sending you as the echo. Every skill, every scar, every lesson, He's weaving it into a mission. You've wondered why you feel things so deeply, why you sense the pain of others like it's your own. That sensitivity isn't weakness, it's assignment. You're the vessel heaven trusts with compassion. And now God's about to amplify your empathy into influence. People will find healing in your presence without knowing why. Don't shrink when the spotlight finds you. It's not fame, it's fulfillment. The light that hits you now is the same one that's been shaping you in the shadows. You don't need to perform. You just need to be. The world is starving for authenticity, and you are walking proof that broken can still be beautiful, that scarred can still shine. Remember this. When divine overflow arrives, the enemy often tries one last whisper. You're not ready. But that voice is a liar. If you weren't ready, heaven wouldn't be opening. God doesn't rush miracles. He releases them when the vessel can carry them. And you, chosen one, have been hollowed out just enough for Him to fill completely. Picture yourself standing in a field after a storm. The clouds are breaking, sunlight spills across everything, and what looked destroyed now glistens. That's your spirit right now, washed clean, alive, radiant. The rain didn't ruin you. It revealed you. God says, I've seen every storm, and I've marked the exact second it ends. That second is approaching. Not next year, not someday. Now. You'll feel it as rest in your bones, clarity in your mind, and boldness in your steps. You won't have to force it. It'll flow. And when it begins, stay humble. Don't announce it, embody it. Let your peace preach louder than your words. The same people who once ignored your pain will be drawn to your glow. They won't understand it's not luck, it's the residue of prayer. Chosen one, don't rush to prove anything. You've already been proven. The fact that you're still standing is evidence enough. You walked through fire and didn't lose your shape. That's divine metallurgy. God refines gold in heat, and you, his masterpiece, were refined in silence. Now the silence breaks. Doors will open without your knocking. Names will be mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Paths will appear where there were none. And through it all, remember, the miracle isn't the blessing, it's you. You are the sign that faith still works, that God still moves, that grace still chooses the unlikely. Stay alert in this hour. God is about to accelerate what's been stagnant. The friendships, opportunities, and ideas that align with your assignment will come together like magnets clicking into place. You won't have to beg or bend, what's yours will find you. And when it does, give glory where it's due. Every blessing becomes bondage if you forget the source. Keep your altar lit, gratitude is your gatekeeper. The same hands that held you in the valley will lift you to the mountain, but they'll expect the same posture, humility. Don't confuse momentum for arrival. This is the launch, not the landing. The river is starting to flow, but there's still a course to follow. Stay anchored in prayer, stay guarded in peace, and stay open in obedience. Because what's about to unfold isn't luck, and it's not coincidence, it's fulfillment. Every prophecy whispered over your life, every vision that seemed too far, every word that made no sense. This is the hour it begins to make sense. God's saying you need to hear this before it happens. So when it does, you'll know it was me. The shift has already started. The light is already breaking. You're not walking into favor. Favor is walking into you. Chosen one, your life is about to s'exaucer. Chenkiko. Chosen one, what's about to happen will feel like a windstorm of grace, unpredictable, unstoppable, undeniable. You've prayed for change, and now it's arriving faster than you can process. But hear this clearly. God isn't just changing your circumstances. He's changing He's upgrading your spiritual DNA so you can hold what he's about to hand you. This next season won't look like the last one because you're not the same person anymore. The old ways of thinking, reacting, and doubting can't come with you. God's pruning isn't punishment, it's precision. He's cutting what can't carry your next level. Don't cling to the familiar out of fear, let it fall. The hands that release are the hands that receive. Remember when the Israelites stood at the edge of the Red Sea? The water looked like a wall the enemy pressed from behind, and panic filled the air. But then God said, "Move forward." That's the same word for you now. Don't study the storm, step into it. The sea isn't your obstacle, it's your passage. And when it parts, walk through it, like you belong to the God who commands oceans. You've been wandering in wildernesses where provision came drop by drop, manna enough for the day, hope enough for the hour. But that was training for trust. The season of daily survival is ending. You're entering a land that flows a rhythm of abundance without striving, of opportunities that find you naturally because your energy is finally aligned with your purpose. You will notice divine patterns repeating, people returning with apologies, doors reopening that once slammed shut, ideas resurrecting stronger than before. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Every cycle that once hurt you is coming back healed. Every scar that once stung will soon shine as proof of God's mastery. And yes, the enemy will try to remind you of your past, because that's the only place he still has jurisdiction. But you don't live there anymore. Every accusation will fall flat against the evidence of your transformation. The same voices that called you naive, crazy, or too much will whisper, "How did they do it?" And the answer will be 3 words. God was there. You see, when God elevates His chosen, it's not to humiliate others, it's to illustrate His faithfulness. Your comeback isn't revenge, it's revelation. Every miracle written in your story is another line of proof that He keeps His word. So when the shift begins, when the phone call comes, when the door opens, when the healing hits, don't say finally. Say faithfully. Because that's what this has been all along, His faithfulness unfolding slow and sure until you could see it with your own eyes. This new season will demand peace under pressure. Not everyone will celebrate your breakthrough. Some will distance themselves, unable to handle your glow. That's okay. Not all connections are meant to cross into Canaan with you. Let the pruning continue. Bless them, release them, and keep walking. And when the blessings overflow, and they will, don't apologize for them. You paid for that oil in tears. You earned that glow in silence. You forged that peace in battle. Shine anyway. Overflow anyway. Let your life preach to those still trapped in the valley you escaped. Chosen one, you've been asking. When will it be my turn? Heaven is answering now. The divine clock has struck alignment. The promises that seemed delayed are suddenly converging. People who forgot you will remember you. Projects that failed will resurrect. You'll find yourself in places that used to intimidate you, speaking with confidence that shocks even you. Because when God restores, He doesn't just return what was lost, He multiplies it. He redeems time. He accelerates growth. He adds interest to every pain. And soon your testimony will read like this. I thought I was behind, but God had me in rehearsal. There will be moments when you'll want to question it, when it feels too fast, too surreal. Don't. Grace doesn't always announce itself gently. Sometimes it floods the room, rearranges the furniture, and leaves you trembling in awe. That trembling isn't fear, it's recognition. You're standing in answered prayer. And through it all, remember, this is not the end of your story. It's the unveiling of your purpose. God isn't done showing you who you are. There's still more glory to reveal, still more light to pour through your cracks. You're stepping into the stage of your life where everything you've endured turns into evidence. Every prayer you whispered in the dark has become a bridge under your feet. Every why you asked now becomes a wow. Every silence becomes a song. And soon people will look at you and say, they're different. Not because of what you wear or what you have, but because of the atmosphere you carry. God is saying, you need to hear this now before it happens. So when it does, you won't call it luck, you'll call it me. So breathe, chosen one. Exhale the old, inhale the new. The dam is cracking. The river is coming. The light is breaking through. Your season of survival is over. Your season of soaring has begun.